most of his songs back then, Sikaba, then all of his songs had something to do with money. Yeah. But he heard it from her. She says she loves money.
I do.
You love money?
Yesterday.
No, is that your final answer? You love money?
Of course, I do love money. Yeah.
Do you know what the Bible says?
I like to work hard for it. Please.
You know what the Bible says, though?
Preach on, darling.
The love of money.
Yes.
Is the root of waiting.
Evil? Thank you very much for preaching. Oh, it's not a bad thing, actually. You have to be reminded, whilst you make money your focus, that it can also be your downfall. Yeah. And I think it's just wise that we are minded that even though we're pursuing something, it could also be that thing could also get destroy us. But you've got to love money. Well, I don't know if you don't love money, that's yours. But
no, I'm just playing.
I like to work hard.
I like to use more of
yesterday when I said, I love it. I love money. Damn, I love money.
My people, if you have
yesterday,
which other languages cry? Dinero, l'argent. Money. In fact, the German version,
okay, yesterday when I said I would love to live in was it forests? I said yes. Somebody sent because Joseph Opoko Gapo sent me the screenshots. The person says, I love you. I love to live with you in the forest. So thank you for choosing to live with me in the forest, but we have to have a lot of money to live like that,
Oh, yeah. Forest living, no big joke. It's like trying to eat healthy. If you try it for a long time, you realize you'll be broken.
But don't be lazy. Let's go out there and work for money, y'all.
Well, we all need money.
It makes a whole lot of different things. Think about it. Everything is money. Everything is cash.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man.
Can money buy you love?
Oh, yeah. Seriously? Money can buy you love. Money can buy you beauty. It's in the store. Don't you hear them say that?
But is it really?
Well, when you go and you wash the makeup up, then you tell us if it is.
Beauty is skin deep. That's another one. And it also reminds me of that TLC song from way back. I've just forgotten the Thibaut's Left Eye Chili. Remember that group?
Which one is
beautiful.
that?
I think the song is beautiful.
Drop a line.
Derek Ekwasam.
Drop
Please
a line,
check out
Ben.
TLC. Thibaut's Left Eye Chili from way back. But in fact, Left Eye died some years ago.
Okay.
After Aliyah, she also... they had the song. I think it was
So
titled
drop a line there.
I just can't. But it talks about some of these things.
Oh, yeah.
Girl, you're beautiful. Something like that.
Are you singing to me?
Girl, you're beautiful.
Are you singing to me?
You are beautiful. You never knew? You want me to do it on live television?
No. Keep it. Keep your comments.
Mama V will slap. But you see, I just have to restrain myself because someone else is watching. Charlie.
Oh, listen, we're just happy to be alive, happy that today is Friday, the 5th of March, which also tells you that tomorrow is the 6th of March. It's Independence Day. Yesterday, the court settled the issue with the petition, the validity of the 2020 presidential elections.
I think it was done to coincide with
the Independence Day.
So we can get that part out of our crosshairs before Independence Day.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah. And we've heard from the former president, Mahama, as well. So it looks like it's all settled. Yeah.
Because some were wondering whether, the petitioner would push for any further, moves, even going back to the apex court. And at least for now, we know this matter has been laid to rest.
We're done.
We can move forward.
Yes. Okay, let's look at what's in the papers, but basically what we've been saying. So if you look at the Ghanaian Times newspaper on the front page, Akufo-Addo, duly elected president, Supreme Court affirms as it unanimously throws out Mahama's challenge. And that is a response from the former president. He says he disagrees with the Supreme Court judgment, but NDC is bound by it. I think I just quoting from from his message yesterday, we're bound by the decision, but I disagree with the process in the decision by the Supreme Court. Also ongoing nationwide vaccination exercise. We're ready to handle medical waste at all centers, Zoom Park assures. They've got a special supplement on independence in the center spread of the paper. Ghana at 64, the opportune time to uproot youth unemployment. The only problem is that, we say some of these things. I don't know if it's the things that we say when it comes to our personal lives. You tell yourself, oh, when I'm 30, I'll do this. When I'm 50, I'll do this. I guess it's the same thing that is happening to our country. When I'm 60, because I remember 4 years ago, the conversation was, if Ghana was retiring, let's just say Ghana was going on pension, what could Ghana boast of? Could Ghana survive without aid and all those things? And
Ghana is going to be 64 tomorrow. And
exactly.
Actually, if we were a human being, we would have pensioned off.
Oh, yeah, I know, but it's just...
So you look at our current state and you wonder whether... sometimes you see people who have pensioned off and how they are living. You would ask yourself, how would a Ghana, as a human being, be living?
Yeah. So here we are asking ourselves the same kind of questions, same wishes, really, Ghana 64. But this is a piece written by Claude Nyako Adams. You can read it. It's in the center spread of the paper. I haven't touched on it yet, but it says the opportune time to uproot youth unemployment. Let's go to page 3 in the Ghanaian Times. Woman allegedly murdered in hotel room at Kokomlemle. The Accra Regional Police Command has mounted a search for a male suspect in connection with the alleged murder of a woman in the hotel room at Kokomlemle in Accra. The deceased, believed to be in her 30s and yet to be identified, was found dead with wounds on her body in the hotel room. So this is DSP Afia Tenge speaking to the Ghanaian Times and confirming this story. She said on Wednesday at about 3:30 p.m., a worker of the hotel reported to the police that a man who rented a room on March 1st this year received a female visitor. The complainant told the police that the client left the room on March 2nd and did not return. On March 3rd, when workers of the hotel opened the room to a new client, they saw the female visitor motionless on the bed. When the police proceeded to the scene, they saw the woman with her clothes on. The woman's body was with wounds suspected to have been inflicted with a sharp implement. When the police carried out the search in the hotel room, they did not find any sharp objects and there was no form of identification of the deceased. So they're still investigating this matter. Ooh, this is just 2nd and 3rd of March. And this happened just around us here in Kokomlemle. Remember the fake policeman? No, this is actually another fake policeman. The first one was the pastor.
Yes.
Was the pastor. Now this is a 26-year-old.
I think sometimes we ought to clarify this. The self-acclaimed pastor.
Okay.
But sometimes the way we put it, a pastor shouldn't be doing those things. Self-acclaimed pastor. Or no, say. Yeah.
So this is a 26-year-old unemployed man who's been remanded into prison custody by Cape Coast Circuit Court for allegedly posing as a policeman and swindling 51 people of 147,000 under the pretext of securing them employment in the public sector. Here's the thing, though. The guy himself is unemployed. He's taking monies amounting to 147,000 from 51 persons, promising them jobs in the public sector. Isn't that smart? He himself is unemployed.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that he pleaded guilty to defrauding by
did he have a
false
choice?
pretense? And the court presided over by Miss Dorinda Smith Arthur deferred sentence to March 16. So there's a 32-year-old driver, resident of Edukrum, who was also charged with fraud but pleaded not guilty. He's been remanded in police custody as well. There's a third accomplice identified as Sadiq. He is on the run. So there's a lot more to the story in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. There's a tricycle rider who's been fined 1,800 Ghana cedis for assaulting 2 policemen. The Ashaman Circuit Court has sentenced Ameli Wanda, a tricycle rider residing at Tabo. Okay, let me just leave the suburb out. It's in Afienya in the Ashaman districts for assaulting 2 policemen. The court, presided over by Mrs. Elino Kakrabans Boche, convicted Wanda, who had pleaded guilty to 2 counts of offensive conduct and assault on police officers. What's the background to the story? Okay, maybe I should leave that to you. But just so you know, you cannot assault a policeman in any way. Not. See, somebody's been convicted.
An officer of the law,
fine.
It's not something you can do and get away with. So don't even think of it.
Yeah.
And the penalties for doing that, you know how interestingly, we call them abai. Yes. So imagine attacking abai. The consequences are not.
I guess same way that we say to police officers that when you arrest, don't slap, don't beat people. Inform them why you are. I mean, go through the due process and arrest them and take them to court. It's the same way that we're also telling ourselves as citizens that we cannot in any way assault any police officer. You must also go through due process. Report them if they've done something untoward. On the back page, tough task for Odate Lamte, leads Elmina Shacks against Koroko. Stakeholders call for hepatitis B, malaria testing guidelines. Also another story on the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper today. That will be it.
I beg your pardon. How did you pronounce the name of my team?
Which one is that?
Probably Asantewa.
Oh, me brofilizing a Koroko.
You're one of those people who say Shadawale, eh? You're one of them. Please, it is Kumasi, Kobia Kumasi.
But if I say Koroko, shouldn't you be excited?
What is Koroko? Kotoko, I'll say. Anyway, we pardon you. We pardon you for your sins this morning against. But I before I proceed, I know you were chasing a Hearts of Oak jersey.
Why are you interested in that? I actually forgot.
Because no, you said Friday.
Yeah, but I didn't. I didn't follow up.
This is what happens to the Karela fans who claim to be Hearts fans. Daily Graphic, Akufo-Addo affirmed President, Supreme Court says petition is without merit. Of course, we know John Dramani Mahama disagreed with that decision. That's on page 20 of the Daily Graphic. Parliament okays 13 ministers. There are many stories. I'll just take little bites of them. But there is this one. It's an ad, actually. The National Women's Summit coming up. The only reason I'm bringing it up, our very own Edem Knight Tay, programs manager, Joy FM and host of Home Affairs, is also on the bill. So
she's moderating the session, isn't she?
Yes. She's one of the speakers. Panel discussion, choose to challenge. Edem, congratulations to you, and keep rising and keep influencing. I'm excited ahead of the 8th. Because there's a lot to talk about in women's matters. You know, this year's International Women's Day, the caption or the theme, women in leadership, and especially how relevant women are in our fight against COVID-19. So,
you know, yesterday one of the justices, after the decision was delivered, asked why didn't have women in, leading the teams, even though there were women involved in terms of the larger team, but frontline. And yeah.
No, these are valid things to think about.
Yeah,
it's something that crossed my mind at some point but you also look at the legal fraternity even, and
there are quite a number of women in there.
Now. But you look at the numbers, and we can only pray for better. And also, I say this with caution, more and more women who will be willing to put themselves out there. You see, another side of the argument is sometimes because they are cowed down or, boxed into certain situations, they accept it. And it's not their fault. Look at what has happened to some women who have taken up certain critical positions, like the backlash, the treatment. You look at it, and if you were a woman, you would think, damn, I wouldn't want to be there. I wouldn't want to go through this experience.
Yeah.
So it will take time for more and more women, but we need to do it together.
The thing is that society will not necessarily change, okay? So I think it's time for us to decide that this is the terrain, this is how they play the game, but we're going to go irrespective. You get what I mean? Because if you look at the men in politics, it's the same dirty tricks that people use and they themselves use on themselves. I mean, some of them.
So are you saying the women should also go dirty?
No, I'm not saying go dirty, but it's not all men who go dirty anyway. So just same way that some people have been able to do it, you know, be able to do it. We've criticized, and we ourselves, see, sometimes when men do certain things, we won't criticize them the way that we will criticize
a woman who doesn't.
Exactly.
No, it is true.
You know, and that's just the way the society is.
Look,
see how hard we came on.
Let's be very.
Onto Esla.
What happened with our national security? What's his name? Albert Kandapa. I mean, we all know the backstory. Imagine if it were a woman. No, let's be fair. Imagine if it were a woman who had been caught doing that, a married woman doing that with someone else. Honestly, how would we have reacted as a country?
So I'm saying that
the court of public opinion would have diced and spliced. But here we are.
So maybe we should change the conversation a bit and say that, listen, if they do this to us, we will come together and not mind them. You get what I mean? But that would take a lot.
It will take time. Well, as our Supreme Court was delivering its ruling or its judgment with regard to the election petition, guess what? In Chad, the Supreme Court was clearing President Idriss Déby, who has been in power for 30 years, to seek a 6th term in office.
Look, he was changing the
He's been in power for 3 decades.
Like that one there is not a problem.
For another. No, here's the thing. We know.
Is there an illegality there? Was he changing something? No. I just want to go.
Mama, we do need to ask.
No. If per their books you can, then we can't talk about. We can talk about
the mere fact that this thing has gone to the Supreme Court tells you there's a problem.
So that's why I'm saying that, and I haven't read the story. I'm saying that, is he trying to change the constitution so he can stay on again?
Obviously.
If that's the problem, then that's the problem. But if per their own constitution or their own laws, he can do 30 years. Who am I?
But you see, look, there are a number of leaders on this continent who have done 30 years plus. Look at their countries.
Yeah, but
and put that side by side with, let's say, a Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew. He was also in there for about 30 years. He moved his country from third world to first world. The transformation was amazing. They were kind of like what Ghana was at the time. All these Asian tigers, we've had opportunities. Yes, they with their leaders have become the tigers. Africa, our leaders who have done 30 plus, 20 years and the rest. What have they delivered?
Give me a first paragraph or two. Let me understand this Chad situation.
Chad Supreme Court has cleared President Idriss Déby, who has been in power for 30 years, to seek a 6th term in office in the 11th April presidential election. He faces 9 other candidates. Okay, so...
When you said he's been cleared...
Yes.
So they've given him the green light to go for a 6th term. That's legal, isn't it? That's what the Supreme Court has done. So what are we saying, Ben?
So
do you know what I mean?
He's been doing a number of things, but let me just get to the thrust.
But what we said yesterday, our Supreme Court spoke, right?
So President Déby came to power in a military coup in 1990 and is serving his 5th term in office. He is a strong ally of the West and the climate of insecurity. You see, I've actually followed some of the backstory to this. And, of course, the fact that he came to power through the barrel of the gun, then, of course, subsequent moves to give him de jure leadership, not just de facto leadership. And going for a 5th term, this is not what their constitution supports or validates.
But he's been cleared by the Supreme Court, isn't it?
We could say same for the Ivory Coast.
No, I'm just saying that if the people...
But that's not what their constitution...
So if the people disagree, then they should go through the necessary processes to change it. I know where you're coming from.
You have the person in power and he is doing everything possible.
I'm just taking the position of what their law says. I see what you're saying, Pe. I see, Pa.
Anyway, let me wrap up. Germany approves AstraZeneca vaccine for over 65s. You know, Emmanuel Macron and France recently did that. And now we have Germany also doing that. When you go to the middle spread of the paper, beautiful picture there. I just wanted to highlight this. You see the smock. Can we do the middle spread of the paper? So the smock and then the towel. Someone tell me, and we're in Ghana month, so I'm interested. What's it with the towel they usually, put on their left side? You see Rawlings in there with the towel. You see John Mahama in there with the towel, of course.
Maybe our friends from the north can help us. Maybe it's a tradition.
Yeah.
It's not common though, is it?
Oh, they do it. The chiefs and all of that, they do it. And that famous one with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in there, was that yellow? And the boots. Charlie.
This had to do with Dagbon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Famous picture. All right, so that's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper.
All right, let's do the Daily Guide real quick. Front page, 13 ministers approved after night drama. Domolovo proceeds on retirement. It's over. Nana victory stands. Mahama bounced. Rojo Pesa White, fanciful witnesses. That's the description that the court gave to the accounts that they gave. Fanciful tale, they say. If you look at the... Oh, no, you have another paper. I'm just going to jump into Republic Press.
No, go ahead.
All right, Republic Press also leads with the two witnesses, Pesa White and Rojo Metalmono, says Mahama hails fanciful too. There must be trust between Electoral Commission and citizens, according to Professor Jampo. Sami Jamfi dissents on Bagbing and two other NDC leaders.
Muntaka.
And then yesterday I read a piece from the communications director in the Aswasi constituency. Then falsification of COVID-19 tests, insults on True, according to Noguchi. So I agree with Sami Jamfi on one thing, though, when he says we don't have an NDC speaker. I agree with him. We have a Speaker of Parliament. We don't have an MPP Speaker of Parliament or an NDC Speaker of Parliament.
I think he's saying that out of what we've seen, the reality of what we've seen. And I think it is important that Alban Sumana Bagbin actually be a speaker rather than an NDC speaker.
Absolutely.
Or an MPP speaker.
However, I agree with him on that.
I would also say that in being neutral, he shouldn't be influenced. I don't know whether you get what I mean.
Because I get you.
The other side would also try to. Now, where he finds himself, there is his party, and he's had his problems with his own party, and there is the other side, which would also try to influence him. Towing that fine line and being a speaker rather than trying to, I am here, but I'm trying to play something is important.
From what I have witnessed from the sessions, he's been a speaker, a national speaker. That's what I can say. But there's something that we didn't learn, and I think maybe the other side, as in the NDC, didn't learn from the events of the 6th towards the 7th, the election of a speaker. What did we see the NPP do? Some voted for the NDC's choice, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it the same that has happened in this issue of the ministers? So it should tell us something. I mean, we keep saying that...
Are our members of parliament becoming more... What would be the word? And not necessarily towing the party line, but deciding for themselves.
Shouldn't we be applauding them for that instead as a nation? Okay, so when we're building the nation, we're not building it as NDC, NPP. And when they take independent decisions, shouldn't we understand their reasoning?
But
like the way when the court gives a decision.
And I can't mention anything, but you get the impression that they feel betrayed or these people are traitors because they feel maybe they have been compromised with certain...
If you've got proof of it, bring it out. Let's discuss it.
And that is what if you
don't lead us into any kind of...
But I guess, I mean, to look at it critically as well, these are elite members of the party. You're talking about the speaker, and antagonizing him could have consequences for them in the august House of Parliament. You're talking about the minority leader. You are talking about the chief whip. Would you really want to go down that road?
You know, and I think we should also distinguish something, okay? Haruna Muntaka has been fantastic with his questioning on the appointments committee. It is not every kind of questioning or expose that should lead to a disqualification of someone. Or, I mean, he can ask the question and bring the issues out, but the rest of the people must take a decision. their decision shouldn't be his responsibility. You get what I mean? You can whip your members in line, but they can decide to go the way they want to do. It's their conscience in the end. So I think it's absolutely wrong that we will be focusing on this matter the way that Sami is leading us into.
And finally on this matter, there's something else I think we should reflect on a national level, the bit about the Appointments Committee and whether they can actually disappoint. It appears once Mr. President puts forward someone, a nominee, you go through your entire processes, but in the end, can they even say, you know what, this person will not make it through, we'll reject this person? Do they have that mandate?
They make recommendations. So if they recommend that, based on the work that we did, we didn't pass this person, it's a recommendation to the House, to the Speaker, for him to put it to the House, isn't it? But they can't say, I don't know what you mean, like we've rejected this nominee.
I am thinking, and this was a discussion I was having with someone yesterday, I'm thinking we should get to the point where the committee is able to take certain steps. Because look, if the appointing authority, if it goes back to the appointing authority, he or she definitely will, it is his or her decision, and it would be egg on his or her face if someone were not, accepted. So you could even have a situation where you sort of make the recommendations and the person is brought back to you. So I'm just saying that we ought to look at this a bit more in terms of, in the past it's always been, okay, the majority side will have its way anyway. Now we have a fine opportunity with a very marginal lead when it comes to the majority caucus in Parliament. What are we going to do with that? How do we address some of these fine issues?
I'll throw it back to the General House, as in all the 275, and ask them if they're proud of the approvals that they've given in terms of the votes and what it is that this nominee said that convinces them that the person can do the job, the reason they voted for them.
I was actually surprised with the votes Hawa Kumsin got. No disrespect to her. But as we wrap up, I wouldn't want to leave this bit out. Happy birthday to Ernest Domi, alias, guess what? Obanzi. God bless and favor you. And that is from Beryl Ernestina Reshta, our colleague right here. So Obanzi, have a wonderful day. Mama, would you like to usher us into sports?
Absolutely. We've got plenty of sports stories. So what's full action yesterday in the Premier League? Oreko would, give us the score and give us Liverpool, the highlights and lead us also into the weekend. There's Kotoko in action this weekend as well, right? Stay with us. Sports is up next.